Blog Talk Radio.
This episode of Video Marketing Madness is made possible by Profit Builder. Profit Builder is the new, easy, and modern way to create squeeze pages, sales pages, and a whole bunch of other pages for your websites. And you can check it out and learn more and see the bonuses we have available. Now pay attention to this. It's a different website, raisebonuses.com/profit-builder.
Oh, now what am I going to do? It's a different website.
raisebonuses.com/profit-builder.
Profit-builder, okay.
And ironically, the bonus page is not created by Profit Builder, so...
Nice.
All right. And on today's episode, we've got a very special guest, the Samurai Warrior. We should have got a gong sound. That would have been perfect there. The Samurai Warrior Josh Zamora. Going to have a lot of fun here. That's close. Those are symbols, you know. So there we go.
Yeah, a gong would have worked perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey,
get that jingle.
Let's get that jingle there.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
It's the online marketing radio show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the video guy. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. That's the Facebook page for the radio show. Plenty of useful tips and news of the week. We're live Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can join the conversation at 818-369-1423. Ray's video marketing tip of the week is coming up at the end of the show. And like Ray said, Josh Zamora, the Samurai blogger, I wish I would have thought of the gong there. I could have gotten something from the Gong Show or something. He's the creator of Tube Takeover, Tube Sniper, Wiki Robot. He's a blogger, video marketer, list builder, and crazy affiliate marketer.
Yeah, great to be here, guys. And man, I wish I had a voice like you, Steve, because you definitely have the radio voice down packed. Definitely punched through very, very well. But it's great to be here. Hopefully we can get into some fun stuff and share some great tips with people that are listening.
And guys, I'm going to share, one of the things I forgot to do just before the show is share we're on the air that you can put on your Facebook page. So I'm going to give that to you. Hold on here.
And it's interesting that Ray mentioned Profit Builder. I purchased it, and I still have to get in there and use it. I keep seeing everybody creating these awesome pages with Profit Builder, and I haven't even logged into the site. I purchased it, so excited to use it, and now every time I see someone with a page that's using Profit Builder, I get all jealous because it looks really, really nice.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I've used, for years, last couple of years, I've used InstaBuilder, and, that has been great. But, it's getting a little dated looking and whatnot. So, Susanna, if you're listening, let's get some more modern updates on that now. But, no, it's so easy to make these incredible pages that they look like they were designed by a real expert, and I love it. I think it's just amazing.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm on the same boat. It just has a different look and feel to the normal pages that I've been used to seeing. Because I've been using OptimizePress 1 for a while, and then OptimizePress 2 until recently, up to about 6 months ago, I started switching over. But still, anytime I see something different, I even saw a page. I think David Abrams uses something else. It's not OptimizePress or Profit Builder. It's something else that he uses. It's like a theme, I think, off of ThemeForest. I forgot what it's called, but it looks, it's just crazy how websites are evolving and how they're just, soon they're going to be popping off the screen and you're going to be able to touch them and stuff. It's crazy amount of stuff.
I'll tell you, and for those listening, you're going to get an email over the next day or so to learn more about this when you hear about this. But speaking of popping off the page and all that, the question I would ask is, have you seen Alex Sebastian's new call to action plugin?
No, that I haven't seen. I was Skyping with him yesterday, but we didn't get into it.
I'll tell you, wait till you see this thing. I'm going to be sending out an email about it tomorrow, but I've been playing with it for a couple of days now. Very, very slick stuff. It's a way to create really immersive content in your site. Very simple to use, based on a WordPress plugin, and you can build your titles, and then when you paste your short code, it actually animates all your stuff coming onto the screen, and they're very, very
Oh, wow.
Very.
That sounds awesome. It kind of reminds me of yesterday I was on Paul Clifford's site, and it doesn't pop out of the screen or does any crazy animations, but it has kind of like a lazy load, like kind of thing going on, and it just looks so professional and so clean because you're scrolling, and as you scroll, all the images start popping up. So it's just like a presentation going on the website.
I've got some good news for you then. That's built right into Profit Builder.
No freaking way. You see? Man, I got to get in there and start playing with that because this just looks so... It's just like you're on a completely different website when things just start appearing as you scroll.
Yeah,
it's kind of like...
scroll, the images twitch and they fly in.
Yeah, just like Apple. Anytime you go on Apple's site, it's just... stuff popping out of all different places. It's crazy.
Yeah, very, very, very good product. So anybody listening, really, you got to check this one out because it's one of the best products I have used in a long time. And there's been quite a few lately. That's an exciting thing going on right now is that, WordPress is being taken to a whole new level by a lot of different products and people these days. And I shouldn't just say WordPress, just sites in general. Obviously Lead Pages kind of led the way with some of that kind of stuff. And now, if you've seen ClickFunnels, they do a pretty good job with that. Profit Builder is another big one. Press Play it came out a couple of weeks ago that is more video focused, the one that Mark Thompson put out. That was a pretty good one too. And I really enjoyed that. And then, of course, a couple weeks ago we were talking about, what was the name of the other one? I've got a copy of it here. It's a totally visual site builder, and now I can't think of the name of Squeeze something or other. Squeezematic. There we go.
Squeezematic. Hey, there you go. That's not.
And that was a fantastic little product too, especially if you don't know how to design websites at all. I mean, Squeezematic is brilliant. You just go there, you drag things around, and it builds the site for you. So just a lot of great tools lately that really help people to make, the different sites that they need to make without putting in a ton of effort or hiring people or anything else. So just an exciting time, really.
Yeah, to think that when I started, which was really only a few years ago, when I started freaking learning how to make sites with Composer and HTML and having to upload FTP and index.html, make sure you have to upload it correctly, and man, and that was just a few years ago, and now you can just click and drag stuff and just.
There's so many great plugins. That's why I like WordPress, and I'm not a website guy, but boy, the plugins are sure easy to figure out.
Yeah, and especially now, like Ray said, with like the visual editors where you can just click and replace and drag and do stuff like that. I mean,
that's right. Yeah,
it's dead simple how the sites that you can create nowadays. I don't know if you guys ever played with the Composer stuff, but it was just.
No, I'm not a website guy. No.
I mean, that's what makes it worse with me. I was not a website guy either.
Yeah.
And I'm still not a website guy. I knew absolutely nothing about internet marketing when I started. So that just happened to be part of the training that I was going through was Composer and FTP and all that stuff. And I actually I'm thankful that I learned that stuff because it kind of still helps me out today to be able to. If I need to edit some kind of code, I can do that. But It's just crazy how it's evolved so quickly in just a few years.
Let's do a little quick plug for your website. Speaking of your website, there's a lot of massive bonuses there, including free WordPress tutorials and good content at ZamuraiBlogger.com. I was looking at it this morning, and it's really good stuff. And by the way, guys, and typically this is something we talk about before the show, but you each got a PM from me that you can put on your Facebook page so your friends will know you're on the air live. So
I don't have any friends. So.
If you want to share that would be fine. Well, nor do I. That's why nobody's listening. No, I didn't say that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So, well, hey, why don't we? I'm a little punchy. I got up at 5:30 this morning. Which I'm used to getting up around 8:30, 8:45. I'm flying out tomorrow to Vid Summit, and I got to get up at 4 in the morning to catch a 6 o'clock flight. And so I thought, well, I better get used to it.
Yeah, those early morning flights are brutal.
Well, I mean, yeah, yes and no. See, I live in Omaha, Josh. I never mentioned that to you. And so typically I have to connect through somewhere. And so the later in the day you go, the greater the risk of missing a connection, So I always like to take those first flights out in the morning because they're easy. It's just getting my butt out of bed at 4 a.m. That's the problem. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to kind of get used to it. And I'm flying Southwest, so I printed my tickets at 6 a.m. I got to see the eclipse of the moon, too.
I heard about that. Well, I just saw it this morning. Someone put a picture of a red moon.
Yep, that's what I saw. It was supposed to be visible till 6:20, and about 6:23 this morning, I went, oh crap, I got to get out and look for that. So I went out looking around for it, and like the upper eighth was, white like the moon, and then the rest of it was this kind of blood red. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw a picture of someone. Hey, I just took a picture of the blood red moon, and I'm so lost with those kind of things. Like I found out about the war that we're in like 3 weeks after we were into it. Like I'm so lost.
You're better off.
Yeah, you're better off. I've been a sales guy all my adult life, and an old sales manager told me years and years and years ago, when times are bad, when the economy's bad, don't watch the news. So, I haven't watched the news since 2009, and so, well, hey, why don't we move along? News of the week. All right. That's very dramatic.
Felt like I just went through a vortex.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is some search engine watch. Google Panda 4.1 update will affect 3 to 5% of queries.
Uh-oh.
The newest Google Panda update proves yet again there is no replacement for quality content based on a statement from Google. 3 to 5% of queries. Based on user and webmaster feedback, we've been able to discover a few more signals to help Panda identify low-quality content more precisely. This results in a greater diversity of high-quality small and medium-ranked sites, medium-sized sites ranking higher, which is nice. And this was on their Google Plus page. They posted that. And I guess I get kind of fixated on 4.1 because, Josh, we had Daryl Eves on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he's a YouTube partner, which means he gets to go to lunch in New York at Google headquarters. And I also tell him stuff. And some of it he can repeat and some of it he can't because he's got an NDA. But one of the things that he said is if you're building massive backlinks, quit doing it. On YouTube videos, quit doing it. Because, I'm thinking like the GSA search engine ranker, because they know what's going on, and they're going to hammer that by the end of the year. And I'm just wondering if 4.1, if this has something, if they're kind of looking at YouTube at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. I'd like to see how that works out. See how they're able to track it with such a monster of a site. And I'm sure they're smart enough to figure it out.
Well, what they can do is, if you've got a video and I mean, this is an obvious example here, but if a video with 100 views and 500,000 backlinks, something's not right. You know? I mean, that's pretty simple. And I think they just, I don't know, my theory is, you know, they've been busy with Panda since 2010, and now they're going to start focusing on YouTube. That's my theory. I don't know, but that's we'll see what happens. But, you know, the thing that's really cool, and this is something we've been talking about on the show for a few weeks, and Ray's the one that brought this up, and he's even got a tutorial video on how to do this. Instead of taking that $5 and having some guy on Fiverr ping your videos, why not just give that $5 to Google, you know, AdWords for videos? And, you know, I found that just with my social media backlinks and buying AdWords and, you know, the right keywords. I mean, it can't be something that's crazy competitive. But my videos are getting on page one, and a lot of it's the AdWords buy, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I started going through Ray's course as well, and I mean, I got a ton of great nuggets from it, and I just like you said, I mean, I'm sure you can get just as much traffic, and maybe even quicker, you know, putting $5 or $10 or $15 into AdWords for video, get some good traffic going to it, get some good views going to it, and then you use that and then you can start sending maybe a few backlinks, social backlinks, getting stuff ranked. But yeah, I mean, I haven't had enough time to get in there and create a campaign for AdWords for video, but I've gone through Ray's course and I've gone through Tommy Power's course, and it's just amazing the things that can be done with video. And hopefully, I'm hiring a new VA this week, so that'll give me a little bit more time to start doing a bunch of these things that I've been putting on hold. So hopefully within the next few weeks I can report back with some great results with AdWords for video, because it seems so simple. I mean, from what I saw from Ray's course and the case study that he put up, I mean, you upload a video, hit a few buttons, insert a few keywords, and boom, you got a campaign up and running within 15, 20 minutes.
Well, and as Ray says, even if your video's not on page one, who cares? Because you're buying views from people, the pre-rolls from people that are interested in running. You know,
I built a list, and you know, in one of the examples, I built that list in the card magic niche, and you know, I don't think those videos ever made it to page one, and I didn't really try to make them get there, and yet you know, we built a nice list out of that in just a couple days. So.
Yeah, and that's an amazing thing as well, because who would have ever thought a card trick niche? You know, that's just one of the most, like, niches of niches that you can get to, you know, and if you can prove it in a niche like that, where it's just like, man, you know, who would have ever thought of the card trick niche on YouTube? If you can do it in that niche, I mean, there's just no excuse why you can't venture off into, you know, bigger niches and things like that and make it work, because when I saw that case study, I was like, wow, the card trick niche. I was like, man, that is amazing that it can work in anything, as long as you go out there and just do it.
Well, and the one of the things that I did is now I've looked at Ray's video on how to to do the $5 buy, and it's a pretty general, get 500 views in the United States, get my video ranked. But then I also bought, and Ray was selling this, I don't know, Josh, you may have been too, but Justin Sardi's course. I said his name. Yeah,
that's an excellent course.
That's an outstanding course on AdWords. It's all video training, and it's $47, and it's really a very comprehensive course on how to buy very targeted AdWords views, down to the demographics. In some cases, like if I had a personal injury, I'm thinking of Orlando, Florida. Let's say I had a personal injury lawyer in Orlando, Florida, and I just picked Orlando when I was doing my research. But I can put some of those videos on the Orlando Sentinel's website. It's just the possibilities are endless. I think doing the AdWords buys is a service unto itself. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I picked up from Tommy's course, and where you can take it a step further, is you can retarget people with video. So imagine that. I mean, they see your video, land on your website, and then you hit them up with a different video with a retargeting video with a different message where, you're kind of pretty much saying, hey, I know you went to my site, blah, 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 and then just go from there. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do with it. And he's saying that you can set up retargeting sequences. So once they watch one video, you can kind of set up a different campaign so they can see a different video. And it's just amazing what you can do now with the AdWords for video. And I've been kicking myself in the butt for just putting it off for so long because I know that very little people are doing it, and the market is just wide open. I actually have to. I'll talk to Justin or maybe Ray. You can send over the link so I can buy his course. Because definitely always looking to learn more about it.
Yeah, and his course and Tommy's course are easily the two best things out there for that, because nobody else is teaching it at all. So by default, they're the best things out there. But yeah, they're very, very good courses.
Yeah, I agree. And that remarketing thing, which is within, by the way, for those of you that don't know, it's within the AdWords dashboard. I think that's just absolutely huge for affiliate marketers. Just enormous. So that's pretty cool. The only thing you got to make sure of is, no, that's not the retargeting. You could actually run your ads over in pre-roll in front of competitors' videos if you want to. That's not retargeting, but that's
you can even go as far as finding a video you like and purposely saying I want it on this exact video.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it that just it blows me away that I hadn't really gotten into it before I did, and I've only scratched the surface even. I know hardly anything about it compared to some of these guys, and it's definitely something I need to improve on because it can definitely make a huge difference.
Well, I watched the course and took notes, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. But it's an excellent course.
Yeah, well, one thing that I've been looking to do it for is my fiance runs a beauty blog, and we started with Facebook ads, but I really want to start on YouTube because that's where all the beauty girls are, all the beauty gurus and the beauty tutorials.
Oh,
and one thing that I saw the other day, which is exactly what Ray just said, my fiance was about to watch a particular girl's beauty video, but the pre-roll before that was another beauty girl's video saying, hey guys, my name is, so-and-so, I have my own beauty channel, click here and subscribe. And I was like, wow, like that is what we need to be doing. Because most of these beauty gurus, that's how they make their money with, activating advertising on their videos. So most of them, that's how, my fiance was showing me like a breakdown of how much these girls make, and most of them make their money through the partnership program with the advertising. So the majority of them will have advertising activated. So it's just so simple to get in there.
Yeah, that's key. I mean, they've got to monetize those videos, but yeah, oh man, that's huge.
Yeah, and it's hugely popular in that, here at my house, and here's a great confession. Here at my house, we typically watch Dancing with the Stars as a family, and one of the girls on there is one of the quote unquote stars is a YouTube makeup artist person. That's her.
Yeah. My fiance was telling me about that yesterday. That she's on there now on Dancing with the Stars, and that's amazing. And I think she's very young too. And she has like a tour bus as well. I mean,
I don't know how old she is, but she definitely looks young.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing. And also the other thing as well is these beauty gurus, they have these huge audiences and these huge subscriber lists, but a lot of them really don't know what to do with that amount of audience that they're getting outside of just hey, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Facebook, subscribe to my my Twitter. None of them are getting them off of their channel onto something they control. Very little of them have a website or any kind of products of their own. Only very few. I think only a handful of them have breaking through to have their own products or partner with a company to create a product with their name on it. But even still, at that point, they're not really in full control. The company they're partnering with is in full control. So, a lot of them don't have that marketing savviness where they can take someone and put them on their own list or put them on their own website and get them, on a retargeting list or something like that. So that's one thing that I cringe about, because I know that if they just get one tweak to what they're doing, they can just not have to worry about, a big company signing them or a big company partnering with them. They can just take that audience and monetize it themselves.
Absolutely true. In fact, I met a lady who does exercise stuff, and she showed me some of her things that she does and whatnot, and I introduced her to affiliate marketing, and it just blew her mind that was possible to do, to sell other people's products and things. And, she could have been making a fortune. She was doing well, but she could have been making an absolute fortune, and she was shocked that these things existed, things that we just kind of take for granted. She had no idea that you could do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling how, you can just, from one tweak to what you're doing can take you from, making X amount to just doubling whatever you're making.
Yeah. That is mind-boggling. I need some of those to fall in my lap. But the words Beauty Channel and Steve Sleeper just don't go together. Okay, Google. More first-page URLs and search results are HTTPS relative to URLs on the web. So,
those that laughed at us when we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
He hates the HTTPS. 10% are HTTPS. 30% of page one Google results have HTTPS URLs.
And to elaborate on that, I've discovered a lot lately, and other people have brought it up too, and that a lot of sites that are trying to do what Google says and go HTTPS, now when you go to their sites, Google pops up a thing saying, we don't know if this is who they say they are, and you probably shouldn't go here. And that happened when I tried to go to Fiverr the other day.
It's still doing that for you on Fiverr, huh?
No, it hasn't since, but that first day it did.
Okay.
It told me, this may not be a safe channel, because they didn't like the certificate. And then when the other day when ClickFunnels came out, their site was HTTPS, and they're doing this huge launch that could be potentially millions of dollars. And every time somebody tried to go there, Google was saying, this may not be a safe site, don't go there.
Interesting. I didn't see that. I get that error on my site, but only when I try to log into my cPanel. So when I put in, my website /cPanel, I get that pop up, and I just go proceed at my own risk. But that's interesting that some of these big sites are having that issue.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's sad because it's Google that's going around saying you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and then people go and they comply and do it, and then they get hammered for it.
Yeah.
So.
And then they're saying, and what I don't get is in the story they also said it's a small percentage of the ranking algorithm. So I don't get how 10% have HTTPS, 30% are on page one of Google. I mean, the 30% of page one Google results have HTTPS, but then they're saying it's a small part of the ranking algorithm. So.
That's only because I think it's still new. I think it's going to become a bigger part of it over time. But there's a lot of different factors. Obviously, if you've got a great site that's not HTTPS, I'm sure you're still going to do okay if you've got a great site. But of course, if you have HTTPS, it's just one of those little things that gives you the extra boost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
this whole thing kind of reminds me of this week on Facebook. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Viper Chill was running an ad for a video they created, which is a pretty funny video. I forgot the title of it, but it was just a mashup of Matt Cutts explaining how to create a quality site, or so. I forgot what the title of it, but it was this mashup of this, a bunch of random just like explanations, and just it was hilarious.
Yeah, actually, that one's been floating around for like a year now. I think I saw that one a long time ago.
Oh, really? I just saw he was running an ad to it, so it was pretty funny.
Unless it's a new one, of course, that could be another one. But
well, and before he went out on a sabbatical, from time to time, I would upload one of his videos. And play it, play the audio of it. I'd talk, Matt Cutts announces this and this and that, and it's news, and here's what he said, and then, we'd hit the audio. And so one week, Ray caught him saying, okay, so he says A about B on one week, and then the next week I play an audio, and he said C about B. You know what I'm saying? So he said something totally different the following week, and Ray goes, wait a minute, he's busted.
Yeah, man, it's amazing, man. That's why that video is so funny, because it totally makes sense. Like, the guy's always just beating around the bush in such a crazy way.
I honestly think he's trying to be helpful. I really do. But he's got a job. He's got a brain. He's going to protect his job, and So anyhow, Google may. Okay, now this is a little speculation, so I got to just say this may not be news, or maybe. Google may add mobile user experience to their ranking algorithm. This comes from Search Engine Land, as did the story before, and my first story was from Search Engine Watch. Okay. Let's see. At the Search Marketing Expo East, one of the Google engineers talked a lot about user experience and that webmasters need to focus on that. Okay, all right. But Google strongly implied that whether somebody can see, the mobile experience, can I see your website on my mobile device, that may become a ranking factor.
That'll be good for us.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
So many people use I know I use my phone all the time to Google stuff, and I know there's a lot of times different. Of course, there's different results on your phone than when you look it up on your computer, or depending on where you are in your city, you get different results. So I can definitely see that being a factor, and a huge factor. And if someone doesn't have a mobile version of their site, I don't see why not. I mean, there's free plugins out there that allow it doesn't make the nicest site. So if you have a very complex site, it doesn't make the nicest version of your site, but at least it makes a mobile version of your site. So
that's what I did. I mean, I've just got. I'm all about just selling stuff and generating leads. So I got a landing page that has a picture of me. Here's who I am. Here's what I do, just so people can see that I'm not based in India or something. And but I just did the free plugin, and that worked fine. But it says here in the article that Google can currently look at the user interface and not just see specific font sizes, but see how a user would see the fonts on different mobile devices.
That's not surprising. I mean, there's software out there for lead generation software that'll pull up all that information for you, so you can call them and say, hey, you don't have a mobile site. So that doesn't surprise me.
I see. Okay. And then they just say in the article they're not doing that now, but they're guessing that's going to happen. So, something to keep in mind, Yeah,
that only makes sense, especially, all these huge phone launches happening now. Everything is, besides work, anytime someone's not working or in front of an actual computer, most of the time everything's done on a phone or an iPad.
Yeah, true. And finally, from RealSEO.com, Ray's favorite website, 76% of B2B marketers use video content marketing, and YouTube is the top choice. Well, that makes sense.
What a shock.
Yeah. Content marketing may be one of the most overused phrases in the industry today, but there's no doubt that a well-researched content publication and distribution strategy is the foundation of many highly successful B2B campaigns. And let's see, Bright Cove, in conjunction with the CMI and Marketing Profs, surveyed B2B marketers in North America, and it's in the B2B Content Marketing 2015 Benchmarks, Budgets and Trends, plural, report. Among the findings, the report indicates the popularity of video content as a lead generator and a vehicle for building or increasing brand visibility. So much that 76% of those surveyed responded that it was a core factor in their digital marketing strategy.
Good.
And here's some of the highlights of the report. 72% of B2B marketers are using YouTube to publish video content. Okay, that's a big duh, but anyhow. 70% created more content than they did last year. 42% of marketers confirmed they publish new content multiple times per week or daily. And brand awareness and lead generation were the top reasons. So.
You know, speaking of that, I know, Steve, you probably know Matt Frazier.
Yeah. Know of them, yeah.
He sent me a message the other day. He showed me, because what he's doing now is he's actually a car salesperson, and he's up in Canada. But he sent me a link.
He called into the show one time.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Yeah,
he did.
So I guess I do know him. Yeah. Okay.
But he showed me a lady who's she's the number one Honda salesperson in North America. And all of her stuff has to do with how she uses YouTube and, you know, all these communication things to really get people to know her. So they come in and they buy directly from her. And, you know, it was really cool.
Wow. I love that. That's amazing. You know?
And he's modeling, you know, what he does after her, which he kind of already was starting to do. And then now that he saw that, I guess it's, you know, confirmed that it really is a great idea, which I always thought it was anyway. And so did he. And you know, I hope he gets good results out of it. I think it would be fantastic. But she does little videos of the people that just bought a car. You know, she does all that kind of fun stuff.
That is neat, boy. And there's endless content right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is cool. Hey,
and that's one thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, John.
No, I'm saying now that's one thing that kind of irritates me when I see someone trying to generate business, and this happens a lot here in Miami, and I think that's just because a bunch of people here are lazy. But you know, whenever you see like a realtor or someone's just trying to sell something on Craigslist or something like that, and they just get so lazy with their marketing that they don't, you know, realtors here, they don't put pictures up. If they put one picture up, it'll be a blurry picture of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And just the outside of the house, you know, or someone's trying to, like the other day, I was trying to buy a phone on Craigslist because I lost my phone. And there were people in there that they didn't even have pictures, or if they had pictures of the phone, it was just like one blurry picture. So that all ties in. I mean, buyers are information is at our fingertips that, I mean, there is no reason why you're not providing your customers or your potential customers with as much information as possible so they can make a smart buying decision.
Yep.
I don't see the logic in someone not doing that.
Well, and it's easy. It doesn't take that much more to do it. I mean, once you do it a few times, it's pretty simple.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, in the real estate area, a lot of times the reason that they don't do it is they don't feel they have to. And the reason is because, you know, in some of the markets, when they get hot, they just say, hey, I've got a house, and it's gone the next day.
Oh,
and so they get into these lazy practices. But the problem is when things slow down, now they don't know what to do.
Yeah, right.
So it's, you know,
yeah, they get used to those easy sales.
Well, and the thing is, the putting up the content, putting up pictures, putting up videos, it's easy if you do it every time. You know, I mean, it becomes a habit, and you get very, very good at it, and you get very, very quick at it. But it has to be part of your routine. So
absolutely,
yeah. Hey, do you have anything as far as news of the week, Ray?
No, I think that's about it for me right now.
And now for something completely different.
Ready for travel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to Vid Marketing Summit. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at LAX. So it's cool. I can, as we all can, I can fly into LAX and almost walk to the hotel. Because I looked at the map, it's like across the road from the runway. Yeah,
that's what I'm told.
Yeah, and
that is awesome.
Yeah.
And LA is a beautiful city. We went there a couple years ago, and I'm definitely got to go back within the next year because it's such a. Or maybe it was the month that we went. We went in April, and the weather was just beautiful and great city over there.
Yeah, I used to have a nice book of business in Los Angeles and San Diego a number of years ago, and so I really didn't need to go see the customers, but they understood that me being in Omaha that January I had to go see them. and I'd fly into San Diego, and geez, one of my customers was such good friends. I stayed at his house, and then when I went up to L.A., I'd take the train up to L.A. along, and you know, most of it's right along the ocean there, you know, and yeah, it's a beautiful part of the country. There's no doubt about it.
That's right, and we won't see any of it because we'll be
no, we won't. I'm not on the VIP list, so that means I don't get to have dinner with you guys, which is fine. I was going to get out a violin, but I decided not to. But I noticed
on the VIP list. We'll have to fix that.
Oh no, don't. I mean, I don't want, you know. I mean, that's like dinner. People are paying for that dinner. I don't want to be freeloading. But I did notice that there's a right next to the hotel. There's a Subway, so I'll at least get out and kind of
there you go,
breathe in the smog, or I may go over there. So, but anyhow, our guest today is the Zamurai blogger, Josh Zamora, creator of Tube Takeover, Tube Sniper, and Wiki Robot. He's a blogger, video marketer, list builder, and crazy affiliate marketer. And he's got a really good website at ZamuraiBlogger.com. There's all kinds of massive bonuses, WordPress tutorials. You can get all kinds of freebies there if you go over, and great content. So, and
of course, if you're a list builder, Josh is kind of the king of letting people know how to build your list properly and safely, who to do ad swaps with, and things of that nature. So that's always a great resource there as well that you should know about.
That list is on there. That's right. Yeah.
They're not building a list.
Yeah,
doing the wrong thing.
Absolutely. That's the number one thing. Regardless of what you're doing, if you're spending any sort of marketing dollars out there and you're not getting people on the list, you are just throwing money away, because you can expand the value of a customer by just getting them on an email list, and it just takes just a few more extra steps in your marketing to create a squeeze page, to get them on an email list, and just than not doing it. So it's costing you a lot of money if you're not building a list.
And don't you on your website, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I saw a list of people that are good to work with on doing swaps?
Well, the list on there is for solo ad sellers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I do swaps, I usually approach people personally. Like Ray, me and Ray have done swaps a couple of times just because I know he has a good list. We have similar lists, so I know it would work well. So when I do ad swap, I don't do too many every month just because I don't want to dilute my list too much.
Yeah.
So I'll just do maybe 2 or 3 per month with people that I know have a good quality list and have a list similar to mine, just so it can work out both. And every person that I swapped with, we both ended up with very good results, very good amount of subscribers, and very good amount of sales. So that's why when it comes to swaps, it's a little bit different than just going out there and buying a solo ad. So yeah, the list that's on my site is just from solo ad sellers.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected then. I told you I got up at 5:30 this morning.
Well, part of it too is it was partially my fault too, because I always say ad swaps even when I mean solo ads. Just, for whatever reason, I just kind of bundle them together under one word.
No biggie.
Yeah, and actually I've been meaning to update my design. I have to update a bunch of stuff on there and add a few more products that I've released on there. Tube Takeover is actually my very first product. So I have to update that and update, because I've released a new video course, so I've been meaning to just update that and swap it out with my new video course. So just
I think about 5 other people have released courses called Tube Takeover since then too. So
yeah, exactly. So I need to make a ton of updates, and I think I've been keeping an eye open for different kind of blog designs and things like that. And I think I finally found a good one that I'm going to try and model off of. So we'll see how it looks. I definitely want to have a new design by 2015. I know it's very popular in the blogging world, and to redesign your site, at the beginning of the year. So I'll probably follow that trend.
Nice,
cool.
That's always a pain in the neck, but it also.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've been putting it back, because I know it's just going to be like, tweak this. Oh, let's move this here. Let's try this here. And it's like, going back and forth, and then it's never going to get done. But I'm going to push forward and see if we can make it happen.
Oh, good. That'll be exciting, though. I'm actually in the process of redoing a bunch of my sites right now. So.
Nice. Very cool. So you're probably in that process now, just going back and forth, and.
Well, one of them because one of them is a pretty small site, as far as pages needed and things like that, and so I just actually did it myself using Profit Builder, which did fantastic. I was shocked at how well it came out. And then I've got somebody else doing the other design, so we'll see how that goes. But
very cool. Yeah, man, I gotta get in there and use Profit Builder.
So good stuff. So, Josh, let me ask you this then. Let's get into kind of one area that I kind of turn to you to a lot of times.
It's 1:45, and we're finally starting the interview.
Right, exactly. I got a meeting in 10 minutes.
It's okay. We can run over. We're fine.
Hey, we've been doing good here. We had a lot of good fun.
Absolutely. I'm just laughing.
So the question I would ask, because I often turn to you when it comes to list building, I always, if I've got a question, I always throw it at you first, because you're kind of the go-to guy for this, and you've already thrown out there that list building is one of the most vital things you can do. So what I would ask is, if I'm a business owner, whether I'm selling something online or whether I'm a dentist, how should I get started with list building? What should my first step be to get down that path?
The first thing was just get out and just put it up there. I mean, if you have a website already, just put a form on there. Find out what you can offer as a hook for your business. So it might work a little bit different if you're a local business. So if you're a dentist or you're a lawyer or something like that, you can kind of find the hook that will be attractive enough to get a customer into your door, but not only into your door, but onto your list, and then just figure out, after that, if you want to set up a full follow-up sequence or anything like that. But I think the very first step is just figure out what would be an irresistible hook, because that's what it comes down to. The only downside to list building is that there's a lot of noise out there. So if you're competing against a few other dentists or a few other marketers out there, you got to find out what you can do to make yourself different, so that people are willing to give you their email address in exchange for whatever it is that you're offering. So I think that's the first step, is to really find a good hook. So like I said, if you're a dentist, maybe offer a little bit something extra than just a free cleaning. I think dentists do that all the time. Come in and get a free cleaning. That's boring.
There was a great marketing course, and it was actually written, at least the version that I took, was written before the internet has become what it is now, as kind of this big marketing tool. And the course was Monopolize Your Marketplace, if you ever heard of that. And they used an example of an eye doctor in Hawaii.
Who wrote it?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. Monopolize Your Marketplace is a well-known brand, so if you search that up.
I thought it was Dan Kennedy. That's why I was asking.
No, it's not Dan Kennedy.
Okay.
It's a different person.
Sorry.
But Y2 Marketing is the company behind it, but I can't remember the guy's name now.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
But they used an example of an optometrist in Hawaii, and that's exactly what they told them to do, was what we do as internet marketers, and what you just told the dentist he should do, is he created a guide, and I think it was, I can't remember exactly what the guide was, but it was, how to prepare for laser surgery or, something of that nature. And they ran radio ads at the time, and you could call the number and get your free guide, as opposed to the internet, because it wasn't as like it is today. And they actually canceled the radio ads 2 days in.
Wow.
And the reason for that was they got so many people calling asking for the report that they had to shut it down so the doctor could write the report, because he never did, because he didn't. So
that is awesome.
But the point being is that this is a strategy that has always worked. From beginning of marketing time, whenever that goes back, this is the type of thing that has always worked. And we apply it to the internet now, and it's a lot easier to put together. But this is something that has always worked and always will. If you give something, what I tell people is you need to give away something that people would kill for, because you don't want it to be garbage, because if it's garbage, they're going to think of you as garbage. They're going to be mad they gave their email in exchange for some piece of garbage. So you need to have something decent. But there's a lot of great things out there, and you just have to find the right thing. So I agree with that, and I think that any business can benefit from that. Dentists, how to choose the right toothbrush. It could be anything out there. What's the best way to floss your teeth? A little mind map or something like that. So there's a lot of great ideas for local businesses as well as online businesses to do that. Online business is obviously a little easier, but plenty of things out there. So I agree, and I love that. Love it.
Yeah, and that's a good. For just going back to the dentist thing, just as an example, what you said, because I just bought a new electronic toothbrush a few days ago, and there were so many options there that I wish if a dentist would have told me, hey, I have a report here of the 3 top ones that I recommend. Come pick it up and just give in exchange for your contact information. I would have done that all day long, because I literally spent at least 15 minutes there just looking at all these toothbrushes, and I couldn't figure out which one to buy, and it was just a nightmare. So and that's another thing. Get into the mind of your customer. Like, what is it that your customers are thinking about? What is it that they are looking to get out of meeting with you or getting on your list? What is it that when it comes to internet marketing, what are people looking to get out of it? That's what I think that's important as well, getting into the mind of that person. And we all as people are always in that that whiffum station, that whiffum radio station. What's in it for me? And if you can identify that, you'll be able to get an enormous amount of subscribers and customers and sales, because once you can identify with that, you can just fill the need once you identify that. And then once you fill the need, you can kind of give them that piece for free, and then you can monetize that even further after that, because you can just amplify whatever the need that they're looking for.
Beautiful. I love that, and I think that's absolutely right. Everybody needs to be doing that kind of thing and always looking for that. And that was at the heart of the course that I just did with the ads that we talked about earlier. It was all about finding something you can give away and making a video about it, and it works. Works every time, as long as you've got decent product. Okay, so let's take it one step another direction. Now, as a dentist, maybe collecting emails isn't the best way to do it. Maybe it's collecting phone numbers, things of that nature. Do you think it's of value to collect emails, even if you are a local business like that?
I believe so, yes, because if you think about it, everybody checks their email, but a lot of people, even if you get someone's phone number, at least for me, if I see a number that I don't know calling me, I'm like, oh, who is this person calling me? But at least with an email, so you can send someone an email. They exchange your email or give you their email, and you can kind of warm them up, and then maybe lead into a phone call. And then run like that. But if you can get the phone number and then you can call them right away, at least for me, this is just, don't take this as the law, But for me, since I'm a person that doesn't really like talking on the phone, I'd rather go through the email route. But if you're the person that likes to get on the phone, and if you're a dentist or you have a salesperson on your staff that just loves to hammer the phone, go directly for the phone number and get them on the call, especially if you're a local business and you can kind of build that relationship quickly. Yes, but in the kind of business that I run, I'd rather get the email and then build that relationship over a span of a week of sending out some good quality emails, and then possibly maybe, if I want to get on the phone with them, I'll kind of switch that over and send them to an application for a phone call and then capture their email, or later down the sequence send them to something or somewhere that requires a phone number, and that's just the way that I would do it personally.
And I think one of the issues that we run into with people that run traditional businesses, doctors, dentists, plumbers, is they're not used to reaching out. And whereas internet marketers, that's what we do. We know that, hey, we're going to reach out and tell you, hey, check this out. But the dentists are used to maybe, running an ad in a newspaper and then people calling them versus really reaching out to the individual. And I think that, that kind of hinders people a while. But, because I love to tell stories here, I wish I knew where I got the story from, and I don't recall where I heard it. But there was a story of a pizza restaurant. And they had a marketing consultant that came into the pizza restaurant and said to the employees and the manager and everything, well, do you have a list of your customers? Like, well, it's in the computer and all this, so when they call, we know who they are and all this. He says, okay, well, who's going to call them? And, of course, they're like, what do you mean, who's going to call them? Well, who's going to get on the phone and start calling your customers? And they looked at him like he had 15 heads. Which, you kind of understand that. You don't expect that. But, his point was, get on the phone, call your customers and say, hey, Mr. Jones, I just wanted to let you know we got a special today. If you order a large pizza, you get $5 off. Well, the end of the story was they had like the biggest day they've ever had in the history of the restaurant, because they started calling customers and telling them, hey, if you get a pizza today, blah, blah, blah. And they sold a ton of pizza, and I think it was a great example of, just kind of the dichotomy of businesses, local business versus, sales type businesses or internet businesses, where the local businesses are not used to reaching out to people and asking for work, Yeah,
that's an amazing story.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought that was fantastic. So, but so let's talk a little bit about the tools, because one, everybody loves the fun tools, but if I'm going to start this and I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to put some sort of a form on my site, how do I go about doing it? What do I actually need? Obviously, you need some sort of email processing software. What do you recommend? What do you find to be the easiest to use, and what should people go for?
I've been using Aweber since I started for 3.5 years, maybe 4 years now. I love it. I love how easy it is to get people on this, how easy it is to create a web form. Although I did sign up for GetResponse about a few weeks ago, and I sent out my first broadcast email using GetResponse, I think a couple of days ago, and it was a pretty smooth process as well. I remember when I first logged into GetResponse, which was around the same time that I signed up for Aweber, I really didn't like how it operated. It seemed a little bit more complicated than Aweber, which is why I went with Aweber. But now that I logged into GetResponse a couple of days ago to actually send out an email, it looked really, really nice, and it was very simple to use. So I would say Aweber or GetResponse is a good starting point. They're very good companies, at least from what I've seen. Besides the big attack on GetResponse recently, which you can't really, at least in my point of view, you can't really knock a company for getting attacked as badly as they got.
Right. And Aweber got attacked around the same time too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So they both, you can't really base their service on those attacks. So I'd recommend either one of those. They're very inexpensive. I think you can get started for as little as $29. I think Aweber, maybe $19 for their smallest package.
And I think it's $1 for the first month as well. So you can.
Yeah, exactly. So even that, and you can just start using that. And one thing as well, if you want to get a little kind of, I would say, lazy with it, you don't really need to buy a domain, because now Aweber and GetResponse both allow you to create a squeeze page where they host it for you. So you can kind of maybe start there. I wouldn't 100% recommend it, but if you don't want to go through the process of creating a website and creating an actual squeeze page, you can get started with just when you're inside of GetResponse or Aweber, they allow you to create a web form, and then in one of the options when you're done creating it, they give you a link where you can send people to sign up. So that might work a little bit better if it's a kind of a warm contact where you've already spoken, or maybe you've exchanged some form of contact, and then you just send them that link. Hey, just sign up on this web form real quick, and you can go there. But if you want to spend a little bit more time and actually build a nice site, if you already have a nice site and you want to add a different page where people can sign up to your to your list, then we can get into the different tools that you can use to create that. I personally like OptimizePress 1 and 2. Those, I've been using them for a while. I love them, but even though I love those two, there's one plugin that isn't even available for sale yet. But every time that I split test between different OptimizePress templates and this one plugin, always wins, and it's so dead simple and so ugly of a squeeze page that it makes. But it always outperforms, and it's funny because I ran a split test yesterday, and I was like, you know what, let me test it again against this one plugin, and the plugin is called Lead Rocket, and it's not available it's not available for sale anymore. I actually think they sold the company and the plugin together, but it just always seems to outperform the templates that I use on OptimizePress. And yesterday I ran a split test, and they were both converting really, really high, which was amazing for me. The stats were very close to each other. I think one was converting at the OptimizePress 2 template was converting at 78%, I think, and then the Lead Rocket was at like 82% or something. It was some totally amazing numbers that I've never seen. I can't sit here and say that I see these numbers all the time. I'm usually at around 50 or 60, so I was looking at these numbers and I was like, man, even at these crazy numbers, the Lead Rocket one is still outperforming the OptimizePress 2 template. So it was amazing just to see that. But even at a 78% conversion rate, the OptimizePress 2 template was converting well. So that's one of the softwares I use. I know, Ray, you use Profit Builder. Like I said, I bought it, but I haven't had a chance to use it. So, but I know.
And I actually use Lead Rocket as well for some of my stuff that's been around for a while. Still uses that. Yeah,
and it's amazing how simple their squeeze pages are, but it works. It freaking works. So, and I think that's another thing. Don't try to overcomplicate it. I remember one time about a year and a half ago, I tried to get all fancy with it. I'm like, you know what? I think this squeeze page would work really, really well. I just put a bunch of proof everywhere. And there's a ton of proof just all over the page. This is just going to convert like crazy. A nice headline is the squeeze, the opt-in box, and then just proof everywhere. It flopped. I mean, I think it converted at 20%, and I'm like, man, that is amazing. You're pretty much showing a bunch of proof of that whatever you're giving away is working, and just a simple squeeze page where it's just the opt-in form works way better than something busy like that.
And that it always, we used to joke about that years ago with the old traffic geyser stuff. I believe the phrase was, "It's ugly, but it works."
Yeah.
Oh, I still use some of their lead pages, the squeeze pages. I'm just prospecting all the time and sending out emails. So, I don't get that many responses, so it just goes there. I don't need Aweber for it. I just collect the address and call them right away. I still use it. It works fine for the B2B stuff I'm doing. I don't know that I'd recommend it for other stuff. I don't know. You can plug in Aweber to it. It's ugly, but it works.
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, with online marketing, you can test and and see what happens. I mean, you're not going to know what works and what doesn't until you see the numbers. And that's the beauty of online marketing, that there's no limit to what you can test and see what works and what doesn't. And the quicker you get to that answer, the quicker that you can make some money and get people on your list, and the more profitable you can be, because the quicker that you're able to get your numbers, analyze them, and just tweak things, boom, the quicker you can just keep moving forward.
Beautiful. Well, Josh, let me ask you one last question here, because I know we're already running over time here, so we'll get this towards a close here. But what if you could give one piece of advice when it comes to list building and social media and all that kind of stuff? What's one piece of advice that you think people should know that maybe they're not paying attention to right now that they should be paying attention to?
I would say maybe not something paying attention to, but just be patient. I think that would be my biggest advice, is just to be patient. Because when it comes to list building, when it comes to social media, when it comes to your customers interacting with you, it takes a little while to get that kind of flow going. At the very beginning, you're going to have 100, 200, 300, 400 subscribers. Things are going to seem like they're going very, very slow. And I was actually having this conversation with my fiance yesterday, because we're building a list in the beauty niche, and she's like, what's the point of this if no one's interacting? And I'm like, just give it time. The numbers aren't there yet. We need to have bigger numbers, and then things are just going to start snowballing. And I think since the internet moves so fast, a lot of us tend to be in that microwave mentality where we want things to happen right now. But if you're just getting started with building your list, give it time. Just keep plowing through, and don't get discouraged if maybe you send out your very first email and not many people interact, or you're building up your fan page and people aren't interacting with your posts yet. Just give it some time, because and also it works with both. With Facebook, usually what I saw is once I got one of my fan pages up to over 5,000 fans is when it really started. People really started to interact, and when with my email list, it's usually when I get to that 1,000 mark. When you get to over 1,000 people is when you really start to get people interacting and things like that. But usually, if you have 200 or 300 people on a list, most of the time it's going to take a little bit more than that just to really start to see things moving and people interacting and things like that. So I think that'd be my biggest advice, is just to be patient and just keep moving forward, keep getting the numbers up, keep building your list, and then from one day to the next, it's just like a tipping point. You'll see that boom. It feels like it just blows up, because you kind of I don't know what, it's just, all I can say is the tipping point. If you've ever read that book, the tipping point is just boom. from one day to the next, it just takes off.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic and great advice, and we really appreciate you joining us today. It's been a pleasure to finally have you on. In fact, I was wondering the other day, I'm like, has he been on before? He must have been on before.
I asked you about a year ago if we could have Josh on the show, and you said, well, he's got something going on Wednesday, so I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's because, I've gotten on with Ray a couple of times on Google Hangouts.
Yeah, maybe probably what it is. We've been on in so many other ways that.
Well, it's great to be here. I mean, I'd definitely be up for coming back again. It seems like a very, very fun time.
Oh, it is a good time. Yeah, we enjoy doing it. So, tip of the week?
Tip of the week. All right. I've got an actually very cool tip of the week that
and now,
I kind of came across.
Tip of the week with Ray the Video Guy.
Sorry, I overstepped the plug. No, this is a great tip of the week. This is something that I ran across the other day when I was looking at another product, and just kind of found this one. And what it is if you've ever heard of a website called VectorTunes.com, and VectorTunes.com is exactly what it sounds like. They create vector graphics. And if you go to their main page, vectortunes.com, you will find that they've got a sale going on right now.
Tunes?
Yeah, VectorToons.
TOONS.
Yes, Vector Tunes. But you'll see that they've got a whole bunch of graphics on there right now that you can download for free. So there you go.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll go over there and get some graphics myself.
Yeah, I hoarded it quite quickly.
VectorToons, like Looney Tunes, only Vector Tunes.
Yes, no E at the end there, though.
TOONS.
Correct. So, yeah, you can get a lot of cool stuff there. And they have a whole bunch of other tunes on there and a whole bunch of other vectors that you can buy that are very inexpensive as well. But they do have the free one that you can get right now. And it's good stuff. So there you go.
Cool.
Vector.
Very cool.
Indeed.
Did I mention I've been up since 5:30?
I think it's time for an afternoon coffee.
Yeah, I'm a little punchy. You know, our guest today on Video Marketing Madness has been the Zamurai blogger, Josh Zamora, creator of a whole bunch of stuff. And he's a blogger, video marketer, list builder, crazy affiliate marketer. His website is zamuraiblogger.com, and ZAMURAI blogger.com. We'll have it in the show notes. And there's a free WordPress tutorial and other massive bonuses just for visiting. So
We love bonuses.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's great to be here, guys, and I gotta get some more punch in my voice because you definitely got an awesome radio voice.
Well, I was on the radio for about 25 years.
Oh, okay. It's all right. Perfect. That makes sense then.
I was on the radio for one day.
I never made a dime, but I was on the radio for 25 years. So
nobody that's been on the radio has ever made a dime. Howard Stern.
I actually dropped, except for Howard Stern. I actually dropped out of college for a full-time job at a radio station. I look back at that and go, why did I do that? But I went back to school and finished up. So once I realized, why did I do that? Fortunately, I realized that a long time ago that it wasn't such a good idea to make a career in radio. But anyhow.
Very cool.
Today's show made possible by
Profit Builder. Profit Builder is the easy and fun way to create site pages for your site, like squeeze pages and sales pages and webinar pages and coming soon pages and you name it. If you've ever used anything like lead pages, you'll kind of get the idea of this, except you do it right from your own WordPress site, and it's very easy, very modern, and like I said, can be a lot of fun. So you can create lots of great pages with that. And you can learn more and see the bonuses that we have available by heading over to raisebonuses.com/profit-builder.
And we'll have that in the show notes.
Yes, indeed.
And it's the online marketing radio show, Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy. You know, I've been told I never say who I am. I'm Steve Sleeper.
You do. You always say me, but you know, you're here too.
I am? Well, I've been up since 5:30 in the morning. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Video Marketing Madness. Get plenty of useful tips and news of the week, and a lot of useful tips. You know, stuff we can't put on news of the week or doesn't really translate real well to the radio. It's on the Facebook fan page. So,
you know what we need to get for you, Steve?
What's that?
Do you remember on Jerry Springer's show? I don't even know if it's still on or not, but his bodyguard's name was Steve, and the crowd used to chant his name, Steve, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We need to get a copy of that.
I should get that. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Steve-O. So, all right, okay. Well, hey, any parting thoughts, guys?
Well, my only parting thought is I will see you tomorrow in Los Angeles.
That's right. You know, it's funny, we've known each other for so long, but we'll finally get to meet face to face.
I said that to my wife yesterday. I said, I don't think I've ever met Steve face to face.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, well, Josh, I used to be a road warrior. I was for a long, long time, and the bottom,
spiky shoulder pads.
The whole thing. Yeah, exactly. I had that funny looking car, and But I kind of changed careers in 2009, and I just decided I wasn't going to travel anymore. I was going to sit here in front of a computer and generate leads and try and close on them, Yeah, it's worked out okay. I made more money when I traveled, but man, it gets old, So I'm just not on airplanes. This is going to be my first business trip since 2010.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's why I haven't met Ray. We've talked to each other on Google Hangouts and Skype, and we know what each other looks like, and we both have faces for radio. And
that's right.
Nice. Well, it's definitely I've done that with a couple guys where you talk for a year, and then you finally meet, and it's like, oh man, finally, you feel like you know each other already.
That's going to be the case with everything, because I've yet to meet Daryl face to face before. So.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, I just thought. Well, of course he lives in Utah, but
he does. But we're talking like 6 hours from here.
Yeah, exactly. He might as well live in New Mexico or.
But I do work with his
Arizona.
Arizona.
Oh, do you?
His cousin is a doctor who lives in my neighborhood here, and we've done some video stuff together before. So.
Oh, that's cool. That's. Yeah, I remember when I was on the radio, and I worked evenings. In fact, I was top-rated jock in Omaha. Now, Josh, I'm really dating myself. This was in the 70s, okay? But and this is back in the days where there were no other media choices, and we were a progressive rock station, and so I had some listeners, and I remember one time. I was out doing a remote, okay, and some girls come in and they see me and they look at me and they said, we thought you would be better looking. You got such a great voice, we thought you'd be better. Well, thank you, ladies.
Boy, were they wrong.
Were they wrong? Yeah, they thought I was like 6'5" and blonde and good looking, and boy, were they wrong. All right, guys. Well, we should just wrap it up here with a jingle, I guess, huh?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, and just so everybody knows, I don't believe there'll be a show next week unless Steve wants to go solo.
Nah, I don't. It's time for a break. We're not going to do a show next week, but we'll be.
Yes, almost forgot to mention that, didn't we?
Yeah, no, so we'll be back on what is the 22nd. Yeah, we're kind of I'm due for we do like to kind of take a break every 6 weeks anyhow. So
I'll be out in an undisclosed location in the ocean. So
there you go. Okay.
Have fun.
Well, Ray, I'll see you tomorrow, and Josh, thanks very much.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Have a good week, everybody.
Take care of you. Oh.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.